Okay, hi everyone. I'm going to show how to make a quick collage and then encase it in encaustic, which is just a hot wax. So I'm starting off with a wood block, simply because I like working on wood. You could use paper, a nice heavy cardstock or mat board. And I've got a very light coating of gesso that I've already put down. And now I'm going to take just some acrylic paint on a little cosmetic sponge, because you really don't want this to be heavily coated, because technically acrylic and encaustic don't mix very well. You're going to get a separation. So all I'm doing is just spreading this on. I just spritzed it with a little water. This doesn't have to be exact because I know where we're going here, just as a background color. And that is all I need. It's actually, you can see I'm touching this and nothing's coming up in my hand really. So that's pretty much dry already. As my glue, rabbit ears glue, I'm going to use just a matte acrylic medium. Any brand that you like. And now I'm just going to start building my collage. I've taken some, I like to use vintage pieces. So this is just an old book, piece of paper from an old book. I'm going to put that down. All I've done is just coated the back of it with a very, very thin layer of acrylic medium, gel medium. So that, again, really, you can't even touch it. When I teach classes, everybody uses so much glue. You really don't need a lot. Okay, just waiting for that to get a little bit tacky, which it is. Then I'll take my next piece, which just is a little accent piece. Again, all I'm doing is coating it very thinly with some gel medium. I'm going to put this down here, I think. Again, very thinly. And this is just an old vintage photograph. For some reason, I'm really loving feet. So I'm going to put the feet in here. Actually, I want to put this piece down first. This was some paste paper that I had made. This is just a little corner that didn't get used in another project. So a little, very little again. I think this is going to go about here. Sometimes you just have to eyeball things. This paper's a little thick. Remember, your encaustic, your wax, is also going to act as an adhesive. So you don't have to go too crazy with your glue. Gel medium glue. That's good. You can see how it's up, but I'm not going to worry about that. Now I'm going to put down my photograph. I think this is a good spot. Straight would be nice. Okay. Then I have a piece of, I like using old dress patterns. And these are good because they are see-through. I don't have to coat that everywhere because the encaustic will, again, help that to stay down. Another little piece from the paste paper. I also like actually having script that's been written by someone, and this is from a letter, from an old letter, probably from the 30s, as I remember as I go through my stuff. I like the way it looks. That's the only reason that I use that. Another little bit of dressmaker's pattern, just right there. I want to highlight that leg. And this we're going to add also. It's an old bingo number. We're going to add that a little bit later, I think. I think that looks good so far. Maybe one more piece of dressmaker's pattern. Here we go. Put that right there. See how that looks. Okay, I think that's good. I'm just going to hit that really quick with the heat gun just so that I know that those couple of little areas are dry. Okay, that feels good to me. Feels dry. So now what I'm going to do, now remember I want to add this, but the encaustic will act as an adhesive, so I'm going to wait and put that there later. I'm going to take, what I've done is in a crock pot, off camera here you can't see, I've taken some encaustic and melted it. So now what I do is I just take an old brush. I'm simply going to brush that on. Not too crazy thick. Just brushing that on. Just so you can see the difference. You can see that on camera. See how that's a little bit whiter? And you can also see the character that the paper takes on. Now what I'm going to do is take my heat gun. I'm going to set that. I'm going to fuse. They call it fusing the encaustic to the wood. So what I'm doing is, sorry about the heat gun. What I'm going to do is wait until there's a little sheen and move to the next area. And I'm going to take this. Take my number 40 here and just put that into the wax. And when that sets up, that'll be firm. If you're ever cautious, you're worried, just go back in and just dab a little bit more encaustic right around the edge and set it again with your heat gun. And for this, there's so many things you can do with encaustic. This is a simple, super simple example. I always like a little gold, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to incise a little line here. That takes off some of the wax. I could use anything for that, a toothpick. Okay. Then I have a little, this is gold oil paint. So I'm just going to, this is now, I can touch this and you can see it's not going to leave like a fingerprint mark. You just obviously don't want to dig into it because it takes a few days to totally set, but it is quote-unquote dry to the touch. I'm just going to put a little bit of gold in here, and then just wipe that off. And you can see how the gold stays into the crease and not on the whole piece. And let's see if you can see that. Just a little bit better. And actually, I think that the little remnants of gold that are left are just great. So I'm not going to dig in too deeply. And now, to seal that, I take a little bit of wax. You don't have to seal it. I just like that effect. I'm going to fuse it one more time. Here's the heat gun. That's as quick as I need to do that. And the very basic, quick and easy. Oops, there you go. It's done.